Hi everyone, I'm Sarah from InkNome and welcome to the ClassPoint channel. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you can stay updated with all of our latest videos. Today, we're going to be covering 7 different tech tools that you can use in your classroom. So all these tools are very easy to use, super easy to learn. That way it takes no time at all to begin using them in your classroom. Plus, each one of these is unique and allows you to achieve some really incredible things that isn't possible without the use of technology. So without further ado, let's get into these 7 tech tools that you can use separately or mix and match with each other to use in your classroom. ClassDojo is designed to help you communicate with your students and their parents. In addition, this tool can be used to help students train and manage their own behaviors, which is something we all want. So how can this be done? Let's go ahead and take a look. First off, you can go ahead and create your account on ClassDojo.com using the internet or their application. Once your account's created, you can go ahead, create your class, and then connect your students and invite their parents. So there's actually a downloadable printout that students can bring home to their parents to get them invited and connected into your class. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and insert their email or their phone number so that they have access to their students' portfolios. So their students' portfolios, anything that their student adds into their portfolio, parents will be able to take a look at and see how their student is doing. In addition, parents are able to see anything that you as a teacher post in the class story. So this class story can be used if you want to share any activities done during class or any field trips, anything important that you want to push out to students and their parents. In addition, you can connect with parents using the Messages tab if you want to communicate with one or all of your parents very easily. So now, how does this help students with their behaviors? If we go on the Classroom tab, you'll see all your invited students are here. So students are represented by a monster avatar. So once they're logged in and connected to your class, their egg will hatch and their monster is created. These monsters are actually customizable, so students can add their own personality to their avatar. And then all of these numbers here are designed so that you can award students points or take them away if needed. However, a lot of teachers don't like to do these negative points because they don't want their students to see red on their monster. So it's up to you, but all of these points can be edited. So if you have certain skills in your curriculum, you can always personalize this to what's needed. So once that is completed, you guys can just go ahead and award students some points. So this bottom toolbar here allows you a couple of different access points to different activities. So the toolkit houses a couple of different things for groups or the timer if you need that, along with the attendance. However, not all teachers will take advantage of the attendance since usually you take attendance using a different system with your school. You can also select multiple students if you want to award them the same amount of points at once. So maybe these 2 students really did a good job of helping a student out, so we can award them both those same points. You can also randomly select a student if you're doing an activity and want them to answer something, then you can give them an award for participating. There's also the timer if you need it, and this big ideas opens up to ClassDojo's already inserted different ideas that you can use. So that's how you can help students be able to train and manage their own behaviors by giving them points based on certain things that they've done during class. So why should you be using ClassDojo in your classroom? Well, number 1, it gives students a chance to create something, have it analyzed and evaluated, and then shared with their parents super easily. Teachers are always so busy, so it's really nice when something can be taken right off your plate. So this behavior management tool can also help aid in communicating with your parents, taking that off your plate in a snap. Plus, let's talk about those monsters. Those monsters are super fun and engaging way to have students see their behavior in a brand new way. This positive reinforcement tool can help build positive students and a positive classroom environment, depending on how you use it. Again, like I said, not all teachers like to use the negative points to take points away from students because that impact that it can have on students seeing their success and their failures in front of the whole class. I've gone ahead and switched out my touchscreen Surface Pro for a non-touchscreen device. That's because this next tech tool is a physical tech tool that allows you to turn any non-touchscreen device into a touchscreen device. So this is the one by Wacom, and it allows me to annotate and use this drawing tablet as if I was touching on my screen. This is the only tool on our list that is not free. However, because of that transformation, it is worth it. So it comes with a cord that just plugs into your device via USB. And once you have downloaded and installed the driver, you can begin using the pen just as if it was a mouse on your device. Any application that has drawing tools enabled means that you can annotate and draw on your slides. So that includes Microsoft tools like PowerPoint, Excel, or Word, along with digital whiteboards and any note-taking applications or video conferencing tools. Like Zoom has those annotation tools within that whiteboard. So I also have downloaded a Chrome plugin that allows me to annotate on any website. So using this, I can go ahead and click on a pen and then go ahead and annotate on any of the websites that I have open here. So this is really convenient, gives you access to drawing and writing on anything like you didn't before. I also have PowerPoint pulled up here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how with Microsoft Tools, if you go over to the Draw tab, you can click on a pen, and if you need to change the color, you can go ahead and then you can begin writing right on the screen. So this can be used in your edit mode, or you can also go into your presentation mode and then have access to the drawing tools here, and then write right on your screen as well. So remember that this drawing tablet is blank, so it's not like you can see your screen, so you have to look at your screen and write on here. It is a little bit hard at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's no problem. If you want to find out more information on using the One by Wacom with PowerPoint, you can go ahead, take a look at the video that's linked above or down below. So why should you be using the One by Wacom in your classroom? Well, number one, it's a very cost-effective way to annotate and have different tools available to you if you don't already have a touchscreen device. It can be used online or in person. So if it's online, it allows you to, make those annotations right during class. If you're using it in person, there's no need to project something onto a whiteboard and then annotate from there. You can do everything right from here. Plus, the case that it integrates into tools that you're already using couldn't be better. Canva is a free online graphic design tool that allows you to create your very own professional presentations and designs. This is a tool that can be used by both teachers and students, and can be used with the Wacom tablet that we previously mentioned. So once you have your account created, you can get it verified so that you can get access to Canva Pro for free. So Canva Pro unlocks their library of thousands of different templates, elements, photos, images, and graphics. So once you have that account created, you can go ahead and invite your students into your class so that it is easy for them to share their designs with you and for you to review them. So let's say that students are going to create a project and they need to create a design on an important educator in history. They can begin, or you can if you're creating one yourself, with searching up a different design or creating their own depending on their dimensions. So let's have this one pulled up here where someone has already created. So again, there's so many different customizable options within the colors and the graphics that you can add. In addition, you can also use the draw feature that Canva has. If you don't see it in this side tab here, it's going to be in the more section with draw. So if that is clicked, you guys can go ahead, pick a color, and then go ahead and write right on that design. You can have your fingers on Command Z or Control Z, so that way if you need to undo anything that you just did, it's super easy to do. In addition to drawing, once students have shared a design with the teacher, you guys can easily add a comment to any part of the presentation. So if you click on something, you can just click on this little bubble here and be able to write a comment. And then students are going to be able to see that, and you can add any little reactions as well. If students don't want to share it and you don't want to deal with Canva, you can also download any of the designs and then share them in the way that you get your assignments from your students. So why should you use Canva in your classroom? Well, creating designs and different presentations has never been simpler or easier to use. Canva's interface makes it possible for anyone to create these good-looking designs, and I mean anyone. You don't have to have graphic design knowledge or Photoshop knowledge. It just makes it so simple. I don't think I'm a very creative person, and Canva's templates have been a blessing to me. They help me feel more professional and confident in what I'm presenting. Plus, this will help you build creativity in your classroom, be able to visually communicate with your students, and that all helps to build interest and engagement in what you're teaching. Bamboozle is a free online educational games tool. So they have lots of pre-existing games, or you can go ahead and create your own. There's games in so many different languages and different subjects, so you'll definitely be able to find something for yourself. These games can be used as icebreakers at the beginning of class, little brain breaks during class, or used as a fun review game before a test. So once you've created your free online account, you can go ahead and browse all of the games that they have here, or go ahead and create your own. So if we're just browsing through some of these games, you can just search up anything to get some ideas on how you want to create your own, or see if there's one that you can already use. So if there is one that you like, if you take a look and these are all of the questions and you think this one's pretty good, you can go ahead and give it a heart, and then it will go ahead and be in your library. So if there's any games in your library that you want to play, you can go ahead and do that, or you always have the option to create your very own game. So you can create your game by adding in images, your title, and the different text for your questions, or you can also go ahead and import a Quizlet or a Kahoot game right into Bamboozle. So if we're playing a Bamboozle game, let's go back here to one that I have already liked. And if we take a look here, so how you play Bamboozle is kind of like a Jeopardy game. So the teacher is going to be controlling, it's a whole class activity, but the teacher controls the game. So if I go ahead and click play, you'll see the different options on how to play if you have Bamboozle Plus. We can go ahead and click the free version, and you first need to separate your students into different teams. So you can decide how many teams that you want to have, and these teams will just be split up in your classroom. You can choose how big you want your Jeopardy style grid to be. And then there's also some different options and power-ups that you can take a look at if you have that pro version. There are some themes here, so this, like a regular normal Jeopardy board, these squares are labeled 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. However, you can change one of these themes so that your students will see these images and icons instead of the numbers on your board game. So let's take a look at that. So once you have a theme picked, you can choose if you want it to just be a quiz, or you can do the classic version or the classic junior. So these power-ups that are mentioned in the classic and classic junior just add some competitive and some fun things to students' teams when they answer a question correctly. So let's go ahead and do a classic version, and you'll see the board here with all these winter icons because we chose that winter theme. So if we go ahead and we've asked team 1, okay, which square do you want me to press? And they say the Yeti. We can go ahead and click that, and now that team will have to answer this question. Once they've given me the answer, I can click check, and it will tell the answer, and I can mark if they got it right or if they got it wrong. So let's say they got it wrong, and those questions are gone. If another student has answered this one and we get it right, it awards them some points. So why should you use Bamboozle in your classroom? Well, it is a great way to add in gamification into your classroom. These gamification tools allow students to be a little bit competitive, add some fun in a way that gets them motivated and interested in what they're learning. Plus, it can help them remember these things a little bit easier. And for you, it's a quick and easy tool that really doesn't take that much prep time. If you can find a game that you've already liked to use, then all you have to do is click on it and begin using it. Or you can just use it to upgrade your Kahoot and Quizlet games. ClassPoint is a PowerPoint tool used to create interactive presentations. Teachers can interact with their students using a variety of activities embedded right inside of their PowerPoint presentation. Students are able to follow along on their devices, and then the teachers can get live responses from them right during class. It's free for both teachers and students. However, you can always upgrade to Pro if you need more features. Once ClassPoint is downloaded and installed and you've created an account, it's going to be available in your PowerPoint ribbon in the Inkhno ClassPoint tab. You can add any of these interactive questions to any existing or new PowerPoint file that you've created. To do that, all you have to do is click on the slide that you want to make interactive, and then go ahead and click on the question type that you want to ask your students. So I've added a word cloud button here, and then you can always adjust any of your preferred settings in this side question panel here. And then once you go into your presentation mode, students are going to be able to join your class using this class code and going into ClassPoint.app. Once your question is open, students are going to be able to start submitting their responses. Once all the responses are in, you can go ahead and close the submission, review all of your student responses right here during your presentation or later in PowerPoint edit mode. To review in your presentation or later, make sure you hit the Save for Review button. Then all of your responses are going to be stored right in here so that you can always click back and look into it or insert them as a slide. So you can go over these with your students in addition to annotating right on your screen and adding any notes that you need to. To review these later in PowerPoint edit mode, go ahead and keep those annotations, and on your slide you'll see that your button is green and you can view the responses right here. In addition to viewing all the responses, you can also share this PowerPoint file with your students via QR code or just by emailing them and how you reach your students. So why should you use ClassPoint in your classroom? Well, number one, it integrates into one of the most popular presentation tools. This way, you don't have to learn or use anything new. Plus, it provides you with the opportunity to really engage students during your presentation or lectures when it can be quite difficult to capture their attention and retain their participation. It allows you to check for their understanding live right in class so you can really see how students are doing. Plus, there's an opportunity to really gamify those lessons that we didn't cover. So go ahead, check out that video linked above if you want to learn more. Kumo Space is a virtual meeting space kind of similar to your video conferencing tools, but with a twist. So it actually allows multiple simultaneous conversations to be happening with the addition of spatial audio to make it feel like everyone is in the exact same room. It's free, and this is a great tool to be used if you're online teaching or have any remote sessions. Once you've created an account, you guys can go ahead and create your space and your rooms to meet up with your students. So I've created one here that looks like a classroom, but there are so many different options and templates that you guys can choose from. And once you choose, there's still so many other editable options that you can do. So let me show you. Once I join in this room here, you'll see on the side there's the edit button. So you can see how many different things that you can change in this room. So let's go ahead just quick here and change the flooring. And you guys can do this for so many different aspects of this room. Like, look at this list. So if we go out of edit, we can explore the room by using our mouse or our arrow keys to move around. And then once we're all moved around, you guys can explore the room and see that there's lots of different editable interactive options. So there's websites here, in addition to some whiteboards up at the front of the room. So if we move up there pretty quick, you guys will see that there are some whiteboards here. And so you also see this circle around me. So this is that audio range. So whoever is in this audio range, I will be able to hear. The farther away, the quieter they will be. So this is really nice for students to, walk around the room and interact with more than one person. Let's do a quick testing of that with this video over here. So I have a video pulled up on the board. And once my circle covers it, you guys can see that I can now hear what's going on. In addition to being able to discuss with lots of other people in your room, you can also broadcast yourself so that all of your students are going to be able to hear you, or you can also present your screen. So this is just a really great way to interact with your students, a little bit different from those other video conferencing tools that you've used previously. While probably not the best for a full class and different classroom discussions, it is super great for discussion-based activities and different things for your students to go around and interact with lots of different students, where this is quite lagging in other video conferencing systems. If you want to put them in breakout rooms, they're only able to discuss with those in that room. So why should you use Kumo Space in your classroom? Well, it is a great alternative to get students actively listening and participating versus their passive listening in other video conferencing tools or during their breakout room sessions. It gives students the freedom to move around and interact with other students. Plus, it can really transform some of your virtual classes after they've gotten a little bit repetitive. Edpuzzle turns videos into a dynamic activity by embedding short answer and multiple choice questions right inside of the video. Sometimes when you assign a video for students to watch or you're watching as a class, it's really hard to know if students are really understanding the material. With Edpuzzle though, it allows you to customize that video content to help students better understand exactly what they should be learning. It's a free tool, but you can also upgrade to Pro if you want more space to save some of your video lessons. Once you've created an account, you can go ahead and add your students to your class with your learning management system, or you can go ahead and do it manually. So once your students are in, you can begin creating your content. So Edpuzzle actually has a whole bunch of teacher-made videos already pre-made. So if you want to search them up, you can go ahead and do that. It's linked up to YouTube with a whole bunch of channels that have great educational videos. You can also paste a YouTube URL if you already have a video in mind. Otherwise, we can just go ahead and maybe just search up a topic that you have coming up, and you can go ahead and click on the video to see all of the different options that people have already created. So you can see if it works for your lesson. If it doesn't, if you find that none of these videos are really working for you, you can always go ahead and add your own video. So you can upload one that you've already created or screen record and add in your own voice. However, I think this one will do. So this one has a whole bunch of multiple choice questions. So if you guys remember, there's multiple choice questions and open-ended short answer questions that students can answer with Edpuzzle. If you want to edit anything that the video that you found, you can go ahead and do so. And you'll see that you also have the option to cut and trim any parts of the video. So sometimes videos have that intro and the ending that students don't really need to watch. So you can always trim that up. You can also edit any of the questions that were pre-made or add in any of your own. So to do that, just go ahead and click this edit button. And for the multiple choice, you'll notice there's either the green check or the X. And just make sure that every question there is one check mark, otherwise you won't be able to save it. So once you've made all of your changes and added in any other questions that you want to do from right up here at the top, you can go ahead and finish this up and then assign it to your students. So once you get to this page, you can set the due date or turn on and off the prevent skipping. So this one's really important. If you don't want students to skip ahead in the video, make sure they're watching the whole thing by keeping this on. Then you can go ahead, assign it to your students, then students can watch and you can begin receiving their answers. Everything, all the grading can be done right in Edpuzzle, so that way you have access to some real-time analytics. So why should you use Edpuzzle in your classroom? Well, you can get feedback from your students either during class or afterwards as a homework assignment or a pre-class assignment. So there's lots of different ways to use this and really make sure that you're understanding where students are at with their comprehension level. Plus, it helps students really work on those critical thinking skills while they're watching a video instead of just passively watching and listening what's going on. So those are the 7 tech tools that I recommend that you use in your class. They're all a little bit different. You can mix and match. You can use them separately. You can use them together, and it will help make your classroom a little bit more engaging and exciting. Plus, these tools are super easy to learn, so they're not going to take a lot of time and they won't disrupt your class. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.